What else we're going to go through today. So I am so pleased to have Tai Shan with us today. She is a Seattle pop folk singer, composer, songwriter. She's known for over 50 songs inspired by works of literacy. And she has an album out, Living Fiction, which has a very cool song on it you can check out on YouTube called Cool to Be Weird. And it was chosen actually as the anthem for the Girl Scouts of America's Power Up program. So how cool is that? So everybody please give a warm welcome for Tai.
Hey guys, so happy to be here. I'm going to play you a little song for the ladies. Sitting in the back row, hiding her face, and doesn't want to raise her hand in the calling name. She gives an answer that's not from the book. It starts with the history of the man and how the teacher's screwing it up. They send her to detention. She's gonna warm the seat. She's gonna sit at the clock and tell her that it's time to leave. You can't tell her how she needs to change. She gets a look in her eyes like wild grass touching a flame. It's a complex irony, just how stubborn a girl can be. Stubborn girls, they push and they shove. Stubborn girls stand for what they love. Determination and a forceful lead. Stubborn girls are the ones who make history. Don't look in the history books. I know what you'll find. If a woman's known, it's for speaking her mind. She's forgotten when she keeps her mouth shut. So tell her what you think, stand tall and don't you shut up. It's a complex irony, just how stubborn a girl can be. 'Cause stubborn girls, they push and they shove. Stubborn girls stand for what they love. Determination and a forceful lead. Yeah, stubborn girls are the ones who make history. Where's that girl with the fire in her eyes? Time to open your mouth and let that fire rise. Stubborn girls, they push and they shove. Stubborn girls, they stand for what they love. Determination and a forceful lead. Yes, stubborn girls are the ones who make history. History, now make it go, make history. Can you sing that with me? Go, make history, now make it go, make history. Yeah, guys, go, make history, now make it go, make history. Once more, go, make history. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Tai. What a great way to start our rally. Really nice job. So we always start with wanting to know who's here, and I actually see a lot of new faces in the crowd today. So thank you for coming to the 100-day rally. Right? coming Saturday, we have put up with the Trump agenda for 100 days.
We haven't put up with it.
That's right, we haven't put up with it. We've been out here resisting every Tuesday. Who has been out here every Tuesday since the beginning? Nice job. Nice job. Who's new to the rally today? Never been here before. Thank you so much for coming out. Besides Seattle Indivisible, what other groups do we have here today? Bainbridge, North Seattle, Capitol Hill, Vashon Island, I heard West Seattle, Lake Taps. Nice. Thank you all for coming out. It's a cold day, but we're going to bundle up. We have a great agenda today, so definitely please sign in. Where's Steve? Over here. Make sure you sign in with Steve, and that will make sure that you get the daily actions, as well as additional information on future rallies. And at the end of the rally today, we'll talk about what's happening with the rallies, right? Since this sort of meets the commitment for the 100 days, but we will keep some going, so we'll talk about that. So here's the agenda today. First, for those of you who've been here from the start, you may know Iga. Iga and Aaron here, who's filming, are the co-founders of Seattle Indivisible. So we all know a lot of things. So Iga's going to talk about really these past 100 days, both what we've accomplished and what we need to do. And then we're so excited to have just two amazing guest speakers today. We have Rich Stolz with OneAmerica, and I'll tell you a little more about that organization and Rich's background. And we also have Shaylee Seacrest with the NAACP. I haven't seen Shaylee yet. Is she here? Okay, so hopefully she'll come while Rich is speaking. And then we have a spoken word reading and a little more music, and after the music, we'll do final announcements and we'll talk about next steps on the rally, because a lot of you, I think, filled out a survey to inform how we're going to do these rallies in the future. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Iga.
Hi everyone, can you hear me? Yes. All right. It is so good to be here on our 100th day rally. My name is Iga Kozlowska. Like Rachel mentioned, I'm one of the co-founders along with Aaron Grethorst here of Seattle Indivisible. And Seattle Indivisible, as many of you probably already know, is a volunteer organizational dedicated to defensive congressional advocacy to resist Trump's agenda. And we're part of a nationwide, grassroots, unpaid movement that has taken the country by storm. There are now 5,800 groups like ours across the nation. Yeah. And so these are just some of the things that we do, like the Resist Trump Tuesday rally. And, on this day, I was kind of thinking back to the first one that we did on January 24th, which seems like ages ago. I remember, our Facebook group, Aaron, you'll probably remember this, was I think like around 100 people at this time. And there was a Move On call one Sunday. And they talked about this national day of visiting your district offices if you're a Congress people. Kira, who is now our art department lead, posted a Facebook comment, saying, is anyone in Seattle doing this? And I responded, well, I don't know, but I can organize our group. And then I was really excited about it, all right, we're doing something. And then I thought, oh my God, I've never attended a rally, let alone organized one. And I kind of freaked out a little bit, where do I get the permits? Do I need a megaphone? How do you even use one? But there was so much energy and graciousness and kindness and passion in our community that it didn't matter. I didn't have to do it alone. And, on that first Tuesday, we had over 100 people show up, and we did it together. And I'm just so proud of everything that we've achieved. We couldn't have done this without the whole community getting together and saying enough is enough. The president, doesn't speak for me. He doesn't speak for my values, and he certainly doesn't speak for American values. And that's why we're out here, to have our voices heard and say, you know, we won't be silent. We won't sit by while our values are being trampled on day in and day out by this president. So we started out with that first Tuesday rally. We went back the next Tuesday, even more people, more media. We had a great story in The Stranger, a Q13 segment, even KUOW came out, KUOW Radio, you know, and then we came back the third Tuesday and fourth Tuesday. And then, you know, when the media got tired of us, we didn't tire. We kept coming back. We kept up the energy until this rally today. And, you know, our energy has paid off. We've accomplished a lot. The list is really long, but here's some of the things we did. Here's some of the things you did. All right, we stopped the first Muslim ban. We stopped Trump care, and as some of you I know like to call Republican care. All right. We forced Labor Cabinet nominee Andrew Puster to withdraw his nomination. We forced Michael Flynn to resign. We booted Steve Bannon off the NSC. We pressured Jeff Sessions to recuse himself from the Russia investigation, and the investigation is growing. When Muslim Ban 2.0 rolled around, we stopped that too. We supported John Ossoff, and he became the front runner in Georgia right now. Yep, and just last week, you held Senator Cantwell accountable to holding public town halls with her constituents. So, your voices at these rallies and at these office hours in there with Richard and Tommy, the senator's staffers, they made a difference. So I'm so proud of our accomplishments, and I just want to give us a round of applause. And I especially want to recognize Rachel Greenlee, where'd she go, for doing such an amazing job leading the rallies. So we've still got a long way to go. This was just the first 100 days, unfortunately. But we're not going to stop until we get Trump out of office. We're not going to stop until we take over the House and Senate. We're not going to stop until we turn every 50 of the states blue. All right? And so we need your continued energy and support. Please continue to stay involved with Seattle Indivisible or whatever Indivisible groups that you're a part of. Check out our website, seattleindivisible.com. Sign up for the daily calls to action. We send out daily email alerts with scripts that you can use to call your senators and representatives. Those come out at 5 a.m., I believe, for all you early risers out there. So please keep the energy up, and you know, this is what democracy looks like. So when they ask us, what does democracy look like? This is what democracy looks like. What does democracy look like? This is what democracy looks like. What does democracy look like? This is what democracy looks like. What does democracy look like? This is what democracy looks like. Thank you all.
Thank you, Eva. Thank you so much. Okay, so I'm excited to ask Rich Stolz to come up to the mic. Rich is the Executive Director of OneAmerica. And OneAmerica is a racial justice advocacy group organization focused on the immigrant and refugee communities here in Washington State. They were founded as a hate-free zone as a community response to 9/11 backlash. Targeting the immigrant, refugee, and Muslim communities. And obviously that work has to continue in today's environment, so we're really proud to have Rich here with us. Thank you.
Thank you. Can everyone hear me? Yeah. Great. It's a real honor and privilege to be here. The Indivisible movement is an exciting development. Lord knows we need the help. And the turnout, the activism, the new energy, the new people coming into the movement, the old-timers feeling rejuvenated by the energy of the Indivisible movement, the partnerships building between organizations like mine and so many others, and the growing Indivisible movement. That is exciting, and that is probably, in my mind, one of the most important developments in the first 100 days under the Trump administration. So give yourselves a hand of applause, a round of applause. It's been a tough time for immigrant and refugee communities, as you know, and I deeply appreciate all the signs. Stop the ban, no wall. I mean, these are important slogans, but they're more than just slogans. They speak to who we are as a country. Because when Donald Trump talks about America first, even Americans first, our response is that we are all Americans. That we will not be divided. We will not be victims of the belt whistle politics of racism and xenophobia. We will not succumb to Islamophobia and to fear. We will recognize in each other our common humanity, our shared values, our goals for peace and inclusiveness, and a nation in which all of us can thrive and live to our full potential. That's right. That is what we stand for. And we are not going to take a step back. We are not going to let things get turned back on us. We're not going to let the Trump administration turn back the hands of time. We are committed to moving forward. Because the problem of Donald Trump is a political problem that calls for a political and cultural solution. That we will not be divided, that's clear. And the name Indivisible speaks to that. That's right. But the political solution means we need folks to turn out, to be activated, to go to the polls, to vote, to naturalize, to organize, to register to vote, to get out the vote. And at OneAmerica, our goal is to make sure that immigrant and refugee communities, those that are under attack today, are at the forefront of the fight to take this country back in a direction that recognizes that we are all Americans. And I'm excited, looking forward to the fight with all of you, with this movement, to make sure we're doing that together, because it is so important. Because those most impacted, those that are under threat, those of us in our own communities who are facing fear of actually coming out into public spaces, that cannot be acceptable in this country. That's right. And so, I also wanted to share a couple things coming up that folks may want to know about. Have you all heard of May Day? So on Monday, I look forward to seeing all of you at Judkins Park, beginning at 11 a.m. at a rally that will then lead to a march from Judkins Park to the Seattle Center, where we hope that thousands, workers, immigrants, refugees, allies, friends, folks representing so many different aspects of this broader movement will come together to make a strong statement about why it is that now, just after the first 100 days, we're ready to come together to point out what Trump has failed at, given his agenda, and why the tide is now beginning to turn. That's the message we will send on May 1st. And even now, there are movements coming together. The labor movement, the environmental movement, communities of color, immigrants and refugees. The last Saturday, Earth Day, on April 22nd, some of us, I'm sure, were there at the Scientists March, right? And many of us in the labor movement, the environmental movement, people of color communities, made a call that this wasn't just going to be a march. This was going to be a combined effort from Earth Day to May Day, with environmentalists, labor groups, and others coming together on Earth Day, at the People's Climate March on Saturday, and at May Day on Monday, telling the world that our movements are here together, that we will not be divided, that we're under common threats, but we share common goals and values that will drive us forward, that we will weather this storm, and we're ready to turn the tide back to a future that we believe in. For those of us that feel deeply and are ready to volunteer and act to protect and stand with immigrant and refugee communities, the opportunities to help are coming. Volunteering with our organization, acting with organizations and coalitions like the Washington Immigrant Solidarity Network. And I wanted to bring your attention. Your attention to a volunteer opportunity that we're looking for help now. With the Northwest Immigrant Rights Project and the Washington State Immigrant Solidarity Network, we're standing up a hotline so that volunteers can staff a number that will be used by folks in immigrant and refugee communities afraid of immigration enforcement. They'll call that number and there'll be trained volunteers, hopefully many of you prepared to share information about what they need to know when they encounter immigration enforcement, to get that information to organizations and volunteers in their own communities and across the state so that we're ready to respond. So the work is there and it's coming, and honestly, there is more to do. But I am inspired by us coming together here today. Thank you. Thank you to Indivisible. Thank you to so many of the organizations and movements coming together, because I see the future, and I know that because of our organizing, the future will be stronger and brighter. Thank you.
Thank you, Rich. We will get the details on the immigration hotline training and make sure we post those so everybody has access to those. So really appreciate the work that you do, and thank you for being here. I'm really stoked to have Shalise Seacrest here to speak with us. Shalise spoke at the North Seattle Indivisible meeting. Some of you may have saw her, and she's an inspiring speaker. She's also the vice president of the Alaska, Oregon, Washington State area conference of the NAACP and a committed Black Lives Matter activist. Yes, she's worked on a lot of different legislative issues here in Seattle and fought to increase many different areas. For example, civilian oversight of local police misconduct complaints, working on Seattle ordinances that decrease economic inequality and secured inclusion oversight for government-funded contracts and state projects. She was a driving force in passing legislation in education to reform, to close the achievement gap of African American students, and she has 15 years of experience performing legislative advocacy and is currently working to restore affirmative action efforts to achieve racial equality throughout Washington. She's also a graduate of the Seattle University Law School, and we're really happy to have you here. Come on up.
Thank you so much. Again, I'm Shalise Seacrest. I have the pleasure of being Vice President of the nation's biggest, the baddest, the boldest, the oldest civil rights organization in the nation. That's the NAACP. And together, we've been able to stand shoulder to shoulder and go toe to toe with some of the biggest issues. We were at the SeaTac airport together when Trump tried to say what America would look like and who could come in and who had to go out. And we told the president, resist! We were there when a young man lost his life having no gun to a police officer. And we were able to look inside of the mother's eyes as she was mourning the loss of her son. And we told her, Black Lives Matter. We were there when we were able to see those who were working hard, one job, two jobs, sometimes three jobs, just to pay the rent, and still had a hard time getting by. We were able to go to the city council and we said, we want $15 an hour now. We we understand that the power of the people has always been stronger than the people in power. And that is why we are here. That is what makes us indivisible right now. You hear the theme song? Oh, we clap it. Don't let this 100-day mark slow you down. We've got a long way to go. One of my favorite civil rights fighters, Frederick Douglass, one of the founders of the NAACP, he had taught something about agitation and the need of going forward and pressing on, and the need of staying angry. See, here in Seattle, we want to be polite. But there's a time, and I'm letting you know as an angry black woman, there's a time when you just need to be angry. Frederick Douglass, he had said this. He said, those who profess to favor freedom and then deprecate agitation are like the men and women who want crops without plowing up the fields. They want the ocean without the mighty roar. They want the rain without thunder and lightning. Indivisible. We are the thunder and lightning for change here in Seattle. Continue to be the thunder and lightning for the person who is sleeping in a tent, who doesn't have a mental illness and she doesn't have a drug addiction, she doesn't have an opportunity. Be the thunder and lightning for her. Be the thunder and lightning for the little boy at Rainier Beach who's being told that there's just not enough money to go around to make sure he's got a good education. Be the thunder and lightning that wraps its arms around them and says that we will not let you fall through the cracks. Be the thunder and lightning. It's indivisible that we've been able to push forward in the face of when we're being told that we can't. We're the ones that stand up that say, yes, we can. So it has been a pleasure to stand beside you on the front lines. We are taking this movement onward. I am one of the candidates for Seattle City Council. We are building power and we are pushing forward together. We are indivisible.
Thank you so much, Shalib. So appreciate that. I just love that. We're going to use that from now on. We are the thunder and the lightning. Amen. So I wanted to read something. In being out here in the rallies over the weeks, many of you and I have talked on a regular basis. And one of the themes that a lot of us are experiencing, because a lot of us, and this includes myself, have been able to sort of sidestep participation, right? I haven't had to be an activist. And so we're only 3 months in, but it's been hard because some of us aren't used to it. Thank you, sir. Amen. We'll get there. We're training. So I wanted to read something that is called tongue-in-cheek, a thank you note to Donald. Dear Donald, one image hasn't left my mind. It's been over a year, and yet it is lodged in my brain. March 1st, 2016, Louisville, Kentucky, Shia Wanguma. In my mind's eye, I can see this young lady, her face calm, proud, amid hysteria. How did she maintain her composure? Her arms at her side, her body stiff, trying to stand in place, trying to maintain her position. Around her, white faces grotesquely stretched with hate, yelling, shoving, pushing her through a gauntlet of venom. This young black woman who attended your rally to take a stand against you, Donald, she is my North Star of resistance. Whenever I get weary, whenever I feel hopeless, I bring to mind Shia. Donald, you endorsed this hate. You egged it on. You shined a light on a racist undercurrent that already existed, and you fanned those flames from embers hidden in dark places to wildfires out in the open. And Donald, it took me a while because I was dazed from being gaslit day after day by you and your lackeys. But when I finally was able to come up for air, when I could finally see clearly, I realized you'd given me a gift. And I haven't taken the time to thank you. Because, Donald, I am far from perfect. I have white fragility in spades. My intellect sometimes lets me down. My commitment wavers on a rainy day, of which there are many here in Seattle. But, Donald, you've given me the opportunity to be a better person, a more committed person, a person who digs deep to be present, to take a stand, to learn, to grow. Donald, when I start to feel helpless, I have a surefire way to reset my perspective and my commitment. And it's that many of our sisters and brothers have felt this way for years. With every killing of a young black man, or Jones strike with civilian casualties, or stolen land in the name of progress, or simply not having permission to use a bathroom. It is a reminder to me to rally and to sustain, because my fight has been a fraction of theirs. Donald, I also have recognized that I may lack stamina. You know all about women and our weak stamina. Thank you, Donald. Thank you for pointing that out, because it made me realize I have to train, and I am training my activism like a muscle. Just like a muscle needs to be stressed to gain strength, I am and I will continue to participate in activities that keep me politically informed and make a difference in resisting your agenda. And just like a muscle needs recovery to perform again, I will make time for those activities that refill my emotional and spiritual coffers so that I can strengthen that muscle again. So thank you for this, Donald, for this gift. I also wanted to let you know I'm working very hard on a gift to give back to you. It's a gift of a more involved and committed citizen who is organizing her life to not tire of resistance. My resilience is growing. It's the gift of a citizen that even after you are long gone, will not return to her couch and her Netflix and her glass of wine, but recognizes that her privilege has allowed her to sidestep participation. And Donald, this may surprise you, but you've given the gift to me to try and understand the people not just to my right, but to my left. You've inadvertently made me a better listener. Just last week, a young woman told me and others that my pink pussy hat made her feel marginalized, and I love my hat. And my first thought was how absurd, but then I paused and reminded myself to listen and seek out the seeds of truth in what she was saying. Thank you, Donald. I've honed those skills, those listening skills, so I can hear the voices of people who have been marginalized. We may not agree on everything, but we can agree on fighting you. And Donald, your gift has made such an impact that I'm pleased to tell you I'm not alone in my gift back to you. Right here in a plaza in Seattle, on a gray Seattle day, are a group of committed, tireless individuals who plan to give you the same gift. And beyond this plaza, there are hundreds, thousands, in fact millions of people across the United States who also want to thank you, Donald, and are working just as hard on their gift back to you. A gift of activism, a gift of commitment, a gift of sacrifice, because damn it, we love our country. Yes. Right. And as you open your gift, Donald, just a heads up, we're taking one thing back in return. We are taking back our country. Sincerely, Rachel. Thank you. So, we're going to move on to some music, another song by Tai Shan, and then we'll go into what the survey results of, what we're going to do with rallies in the future, as well as announcements. So we have some announcements to make on some upcoming events. If you've got announcements, you're of course able to make them as well. And then for those of you going in to see the senator staff, just always remember to drop your signs here and we'll pick them up. All right, so with that, we'll pass it on to Tai.
All right. I was playing this song last night, and I haven't played this one before. It's not written by me, and you'll pick that up. If you want to help spread the message of that Stubborn Girls song that I wrote, I'm on Spotify, I'm on Pandora. You're welcome to talk to me and sign my mailing list. Anyway, here's another one. Something happening here. What it is
things ain't exactly clear. There's a man with a gun over there telling me I've got to beware. It's time to stop, children. What's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. Going down, going down, going down. Battle lines are being drawn. Nobody's right if everybody's wrong. Young people are speaking their minds, are getting so much resistance from behind. I think we stop, children, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. Stop, children, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. What's going down? What's going down? What's going down? What a field day for the heat. 10,000 people are marching in those streets, are singing songs and carrying signs. Mostly say, hooray for our side. I think we stop, children, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. Stop, children, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. Paranoia strikes deep into your life, it will creep. It starts when you're always afraid.